Okay, so Tuesday's vote went about as well as we could have hoped. Everybody voted for Lydia, which was what the plan was.
I think she saw it coming. She really didn't reach out to anyone.
I felt really bad, but at least tribal council went well. Like, it didn't go as bad as last time where I was like kind of stuttering and not really sure what to say. I felt a little bit more confident this time because I knew everybody was voting with me.
We all as a tribe agreed that she really wasn't that into the game, and so it's just some sort of a solace to know that like we're not voting someone out whose dream is to play Survivor. She just kind of was out here having fun from what we could tell.
The tribe coming back for week 3. Jacob is still in the annex with COVID, so he's joining us by FaceTime.
What's up, guys?
Feely getting their first look at the Soa tribe. Lydia voted out at tribal council. Alright, Feely tribe, so I can have that back before we get to things tonight. Alright everyone, this is not what you're playing for tonight.
Oh my gosh.
These are what you'll be playing for tonight. Individual immunity necklaces. What does that mean? That means both tribes will be going to tribal council. Tonight, you are on your own. You're given 2 solo cups and 1 egg. In between the solo cups, they will hold their egg. They will have the drinking part of the cup on the outside and the ends on the inside. The egg will go between the 2 cups. You will then pick it up and hold it over your head. The egg must stay in place and your arms must stay above your head. Last person per tribe to have their eggs and their egg and cups above their head without dropping wins individual immunity and is safe from tribal council. Alright, let's get to it, guys. Alright, is everyone in position? Ready to go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
I don't know.
14.
Am I done? I'm done.
15.
I don't.
Luke and Charlie already out for the Soa tribe.
How about them Packers, everyone?
Nori, I'm sorry, you are out.
If they holding it incorrectly, is that illegal?
Yes, you're also out.
What?
You're holding incorrectly. I told you, you have to have hands on the outside like that. Oh!
Oh, that
I'm so messy.
Kayla, I'm sorry, it's touching your palm, you're out. You only touch your fingertips.
My traps are smooth.
Oh, Leah is down.
You've definitely seen
Yeah, Meredith, Julia, and Cassandra are still fighting for that Feely necklace.
What about Jacob?
And Jacob, I'm sorry, can't forget our team. Cassandra has a wiggle, she's trying to save it. She has an interesting position.
You got it, Sandra.
No one has just misses her too. Jacob does not seem to be fatigued at all.
I am. Don't worry.
Sarah,
Good hustle, Jacob. I know you can't hear me.
guy here. Jacob does not seem to be fatigued at all. Maybe
Someone's holding his arms up.
and he's actually not even doing it.
Watch the arms, Will.
It's almost gone right there.
Drop it! Just drop
Laughing
it!
is not helping at all. The laughing is not helping at all. You got it. Oh my God.
And Will's
I made a joke. You got out third. I got out first. I swear. I picked it up and then dropped it right away. It was just like, so then I grabbed it, picked it up while cracked.
I just looked over and I see Egg drifting down his head and I was like, Luke, what are you doing?
Get over there, so I don't like you. You smell weird.
That's a good point, actually. It's just sometimes you look up at it and it's rippy. At least that's what
Sarah wins individual immunity for
That was impressive. Meredith won an art to your match. That's impressive.
That was.
Honestly.
We have two ladies winning tonight. Sarah, Priscilla, come on over. Meredith, Ophelia, come on over. You two are safe at your tribal council. You cannot be voted for this week. Everyone else, good luck and happy traveling. Alright, have a good week.
So frustrating. Like, I finally thought we were gonna really have a chance with Lydia gone to take the lead, or not necessarily the lead, but even things out, get them to go to tribal, give us a break. But now we have to go to tribal, they have to go to tribal. We are literally in the exact same spot that we were last week.
They had us all wait out in the staircase, and Jonathan was just messing around, and he was like, what if they like make us both go to tribal council next week and we're fighting for individual immunity per team?
I was explaining to my tribe that there's not enough weeks left in the semester in order to vote enough people out to get down to a final 3 unless we start doing some double eliminations.
And he was like, no, like, I don't think that would happen.
So I explained that to them. Then we walk out. Then she said, you're not playing for this. And I said, it's exactly what I said.
Having to play for individual immunity, which is good on one hand because the other tribe loses somebody, but it also means that we're going to lose somebody.
So the last vote was Luke, Charlie, William, Kayla, and Sarah. But when we found out that we were going to tribal council this week, that feels bad because we know we have to break up that 6, and that is just not ideal when you got 6 people you trust.
We were competing for individual immunity for our tribe, and Sarah won. I was so happy Sarah won.
You know, like a few minutes into it, my arms started hurting really bad, but I just had to be like, okay, like, it's not that bad. I obviously won, and I would like to think it's because I was in marching band.
So immediately I'm like, all right, I don't stand a chance. There are some strong guys out here. I was looking at Charlie maybe. I was looking at Luke as a possible person to beat me.
And it surprised me that Luke and Charlie dropped so fast.
So we get started, and I lift it over my head, and I look over to my right, and both of the guys that I was expecting to beat me are already out.
So I just tried to make myself look like less of a target by pretty much just dropping my egg right away. Might not have been the best idea, but I got this, so I can't go home anyway.
I'm really glad Sarah won, but at the same time, that put like a big target on my back because I know the guys are in this alliance together.
As much as I hate to say it, Sarah won, and the only other option would be one of the boys, and none of them are going home if I have anything to say about it. So, sorry Kayla, but things aren't looking good for you this week.
During that stretch of several weeks when our tribe was winning every single challenge, we had a very easy vote and a very simplistic plan. Vote Julia out because she's definitely the least connected to our tribe. She doesn't really do anything. She's not the strongest link in challenges, and she's someone that we can more easily let go because she's not really strategizing with anybody.
Right now I think the vote is to vote off Julia, and that's kind of how we're gonna play it out this week.
As far as I'm aware, Like, every single person has said they want to vote Julia out. What are your
honestly,
thoughts?
that's what I was thinking. Like, it's not anything against her, it's just like that's where I was thinking. I know that I was worried, I don't know why. I was like worried that I'm like, what if they want to vote me out?
No,
like,
you're good.
I think she really needed to win immunity, and thankfully I didn't get out with something as simple as holding the cups wrong, or else we would be looking to find someone new to vote off this week.
The person we've all considered voting off for the longest time has been Julia. Great girl, just, I don't know, she just doesn't feel like as into the tribe as what we've all felt like.
I met with Dave and he said that originally everyone was planning for Julia, but then he mentioned a name, he mentioned Nori.
There is a consideration that we should take into account.
Yeah.
And that is that there is going to be a merge either this next week or the week after that.
Yes, true.
And I know for a fact that Nori has connections on the other side. And I don't want to vote Nori out, but it's absolutely worth considering because he has those connections and because he's such a big physical threat.
He's an open book, and that works two ways. One is that we get all the information about the other tribe, and I know that he told us that Luke has the hidden immunity idol. And at the same time, I know that he's been telling the other tribe things about us.
It was like no hard feelings, honestly, because he's like tribe dad. He's literally like the best tribe dad, but it's like no hard feelings. But you never know. Things change. As we saw with the Michael vote, which I was not even in, we thought we were voting Leah, but it ended up being Michael, which honestly ended up probably working out for the best.
Here's the thing. We're probably not merging this week. Probably. Everyone that I've talked to, which is a lot of people, seem to think that we will be merging after we vote out like another person after this week. Apparently, Nori has been trying to make a guy alliance with our tribe and their tribe because he knows Luke. He's like best friends with Luke and they go weightlifting and stuff. So I don't really like that. Neither did Meredith, and thank you, Dave. Dave did not go, or Jacob, I guess. Thank you, Jacob, too. Neither of them went along with the guy alliance, but like maybe that's their way of. Maybe I am in danger.
I texted Cassandra and I also texted Dave, kind of asking about tribal tonight and how they're feeling. So I'm going to try to get the vibe and see if it seems like they're trying to vote me out or not. But, you know, I'm not going down without a fight, so I got to at least try to, like, reach out and make... Those are my two closest allies, so I'm going to see if I could pull them in. I don't know whether I should lie, because the best thing for me to do, honestly, would probably be to sow, like, discontent and be like, hey, I heard so-and-so, like, told me they're voting you out, actually. That'd probably be the best way to secure, like, me. But I also don't want to make myself, like, seem bad if I'm actually not being voted out, because then that makes me seem super sketch. So, I don't know.
We were at dinner, and we were getting drinks, and Jonathan came up to Sarah and I, and he was like, we're gonna FaceTime after this. Like, we're planning on voting out Luke, which is who I wanted to vote out to begin with. I wanted to vote out Luke.
Plan for this week is to vote out Luke, and this is only because he knows Nori so well.
Nori had no problem telling his whole tribe, so at this rate, everybody except Kayla and Sarah know about the idol.
What we're trying to do here, Jonathan and I are trying to get Luke to give us the immunity idol.
I had this plan to take out Luke by getting his idol in William's hands, by using the logic that if Kayla plays an idol, then William would be screwed, so we need William to hold on to the idol.
Hey, we're gonna have to vote Kayla this week, because Sarah has an idol, so I can't vote her, because it's the only other girl left. We have to vote her out. This guy's alliance is very important, blah blah blah, you know. The only thing I brought up was like, hey, if she has an immunity idol, we're in big trouble, because then she will most definitely vote for me.
Our plan for tribal this week is to vote off Kayla.
The plan is still to vote out Kayla.
Then today, I get a call from William saying that he tried to meet up with Luke to get the idol, and Luke wasn't willing to give it to him. So Luke would rather just hold on to the idol and play it if necessary. So we're going to Kayla's house, and on the car ride there, real casually, William just drops into conversation. yeah, but we need to do that in case Luke plays his idol. And Sarah from the backseat goes, Luke has an idol? And so in this moment, William just accidentally spilled the beans that Luke has an idol. And I'm sitting up there passenger seat and I'm like, bro, rather than try to like deny it or change her mind or whatever, I just jumped in real quick and said, yeah, we just found that out. And that's what we were going to tell you tonight. Which we had no intention of telling them tonight. We were not going to tell them about the idol at any point.
We found out through somebody on the other tribe that Luke has an idol.
No way.
Right. However, he has no clue that we are thinking about voting for him.
And William real quickly comes up with the fact that, oh, he actually heard it from Leah on the other tribe, because we do know for a fact that Leah knows that Luke has an idol, because everybody knows that Luke has an idol, because Luke told Nori, who told everybody.
Who told him?
Leah.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
He said Leah in the car.
Is he talking to her then?
I probably think so. See, that's why we can't. Will is too good of a player. He knows too many people.
Sarah told me in the car that the person who told him that was Leah. So when we went to coffee today, Leah told me Luke has an idol without me even asking her first.
I know Luke has an idol. You didn't know that. I'd heard rumors about it.
That means that he does have an idol, hopefully. Leah's still my secret weapon. So I ran into Leah the other day and asked her like if she'd want to talk, I guess. And she seemed down. So I could go like a little further with that and then like get back to you.
Yeah. I definitely want to reach out to is it Cassandra?
Cassandra, yeah.
At last challenge, she was like, "Were you the one in the bookstore?" And I was like, "Yeah." So there's a
Okay,
potential.
so you have like a little like
there's a potential for me and her to get close.
Yeah.
And so
yeah, you should do that.
As far as I know, the vote is pretty much going to unfold as Charlie and Luke voting for you, and then us four voting for Luke.
And so I'm thinking that sitting on Kayla's couch, and I'm like, this is not that favorable to her. So I chime in, I'm like,
hey, I have an idea that I legit just thought of.
And by that, I really mean, I'm always thinking.
If the four of us vote for Luke, and we know that they're going to vote for Kayla, we're just kind of leaving Kayla dangling there in the case that the idol gets played correctly. So there, we have 4, they have 2. If we split the vote and said you and I vote Luke, those 2 vote Charlie, then it's 2, 2, and 2. And when we re-vote, we can just all jump on the same name.
Jonathan came up with the idea that we split the vote 3 ways in order to keep me in the game, which I appreciate.
So I am feeling pretty nervous about this vote, I guess you could say. What if they're just making this whole thing up to get us to put our votes somewhere else and like get you out? Kayla and I are gonna vote for Luke. Jonathan and Will are gonna vote for Charlie, and then Charlie and Luke will end up voting for Kayla. So that will obviously make us re-vote.
Leah texted Will while I was at coffee with her, like asked him who he was voting out, and he said, I'm trying to decide between Luke and Kayla. And so I'm like, what do you mean you're trying to decide between Luke and Kayla?
Basically, do we want to have the guys alliance still, or do we want Kayla and Sarah on our side? Facts. Dude, that's absolutely brutal of us if we do, like, actually.
That is putting a lot of trust into Will and Jonathan, because they could easily vote Kayla out.
I felt pretty secure, and now I'm just kind of like, I don't know what's gonna happen.
The more valuable teammates are clearly Kayla and Sarah. But the idol may be too good to pass up.
That's because I'm trying to pull off a blindside. And technically, all the votes have been blindsides, but this one is going to be a betrayal of sorts. And I'm gonna break some promises that I've made.
Alright, so Tribe, welcome to Tribal Council again. This week it's not necessarily your fault though, so that has to feel a little bit better. Let's see, Jonathan, what did you think when you walked in and I took away the immunity idol and brought out the immunity necklaces?
I had done a little thinking about like the schedule and how long this game is going to last, and I had like minutes before told my tribe we were going to have a double vote, either this week or the next. And when you pulled out the 2 immunity necklaces, I knew immediately. So it was like, I don't know. It's like cool, I get a chance to win immunity, but I think everyone on this tribe wanted to even things up with the other tribe numerically.
Charlie, what were your thoughts when the twist was announced?
Well, I wasn't too surprised because, like you said, he had just mentioned it. That being said, it all of a sudden puts a lot more pressure on me because now it's entirely on my head if I win or lose immunity for the week. And obviously that didn't do too hot, so my name's potentially on the chopping block this week, which isn't a good feeling.
Sarah, obviously you have to be feeling pretty good. You have that necklace around your neck. What were some of the thoughts going through your mind when Jonathan dropped and you were the winner for your tribe?
The amount of time from Jonathan dropping and me dropping was so little that I really didn't have thoughts. I just like saw him drop and I was like, finally, like I can drop my egg too. But then part of me was like, should I have kept my egg up to show that I could beat Meredith in it? But I was glad I dropped what I did.
Now, Kayla, there is potential that you're seeing a pattern. The past 2 people have been female. Sarah wins. She's the only other female on your tribe. Are you nervous tonight that a guy thing might be forming?
Yeah, I am. I think that's definitely a possibility that my name will be written down tonight because that's the guys.
Now, Will, give us your thoughts on, as we're slowly moving towards the individual version, you got a little taste of that last week, but you're not sure when it's all going to hit. How are you guys thinking as a tribe and individually in who to vote out?
There's a couple things that I'm really trying to keep in mind personally, and that's who's going to be valuable in the long run and who do I think that I can trust the most. And I think those 2 things are pretty much what we're all kind of dealing with, and it's come down to how close we've gotten as a tribe. This has definitely been the most difficult tribal council to come up on, just because like these 6 that we have right here are no question the most dedicated from our original tribe mates, and so we've all been together for a while too, so it's challenging to say the least.
Luke, you were shaking your head. Do you agree that this has been one of the more challenging weeks? It's been different than the other weeks you've had to vote someone out?
Yeah, not only did I know who was going home, or not home, but back to their dorm the first 2 times, but it wasn't really hard because they didn't seem to care as much as these 6 did. So it's not only putting yourself up, but taking someone else down, which kind of sucks.
Charlie, have you heard of any tribe mixing with the other group? Has there been any talk of that? Is that playing into strategies?
No, I've heard a couple things. I'm not going to say anything right off the bat, but there have definitely been talks with the other tribes so far. Because, you know, instead of waiting till the merge, I want to make sure that going into it, I've already got numbers on my lines, and that, you know, if we come into the merge down a couple people, that we don't just get kicked off one by the other tribe. I want to make sure that we go into this with numbers.
Now, Sarah, do you agree with what Charlie was saying there of you kind of need to talk to the other tribe and have some numbers there, or does that worry you, that idea? Do you need to focus on your guys' 6 right now?
It's such a fine line because, like, you're in the game now, but you also have to be thinking about the game that you're going to be playing in the future. So it's really hard, like, to find a balance, but I do think that there does need to be some strategy going on with the other tribe.
Now, Jonathan, speaking of strategy, has the idea of a hidden immunity idol played at all into this week's vote?
Yeah, it has. It has.
By a show of hands, who feels safe this week? Alright, we have 4 people, Charlie, Luke, Will, and Sarah, all saying they feel safe. It means obviously Kayla and Jonathan don't feel safe. Let's get to the vote.
Alright, if anyone has a hidden immunity idol and like to play it, now would be the time to do so. Alright, let's get to votes. Charlie. Kayla. Luke. Charlie. Kayla. One vote left. Luke. We have a tie between Charlie, Luke, and Kayla. That means you're going to re-vote. Charlie, Luke, and Kayla, you cannot vote. That means Will, Jonathan, and Sarah, you will be breaking the tie. Alright, for the second time, let's get to the vote. First vote. Luke. Fourth person voted out of Survivor LU. Luke. Sorry. Grab your torch.
Not a smart move from Jonathan and Will. I want to say I saw it coming, but I didn't play my idol, so I didn't. They were in trouble. They could have got flipped on, and I saved them by being in the flip boat. And said I'd use the idol on them whenever. And was orchestrating cross-tribe stuff to keep them safe until Final 6. I think the reason is because I had this, and everybody found out about it. I don't know. I like Charlie because he voted with me. So Charlie.
I have the legacy advantage, so I can freaking play that this time because there's 12 people left. I'm gonna play it because, like, I just don't want it sitting around for 3 weeks incentivizing people to vote me out. You know, so I'm just gonna play it, get rid of it. That's gonna be that.
I don't feel like I'm in danger right now. I feel in the future I might be, so I have to start looking at alliances with other people and seeing what happens.
I texted Dave, I texted Cassandra. We'll see what they say. If they don't respond, I'm really not feeling it. I'm not gonna be happy. If they don't respond, that's probably a good sign I'm about to be voted off. But I might, if they talk to me, and it seems like if they don't say who they're voting for, I might say something, but I don't know. I'm debating.
Bailey, welcome back to Tribal Council. It's been a bit, and it wasn't even your fault this time that you're here. Cassandra, what were your thoughts when I announced the twist and took away the immunity idol and brought out the necklaces?
I mean, when we heard that Jacob was getting supplies, I kind of was like, this is a little bit too early for the merge, but it was kind of hopeful. But when you announced that both tribes would have to go to Tribal Council and 2 people would be voted off, I was kind of bummed because I was hoping that we could just win another challenge and avoid coming here.
Jacob, how did you feel? You'd been kind of out of touch with the Survivor group and campus, being quarantined at the annex. How did you feel during that experience, and then also once we dropped off an egg and 2 cups to you?
Yeah, it was definitely weird not getting to get to keep up with people, but you know, once I got back and catching up with everybody, I felt a lot more confident. But I was definitely nervous when you said supplies and I get an egg and cups, and I was like, what the heck am I going to be doing?
Nori, do you feel like there's been any cleared leader that has come up in your guys' tribe throughout the weeks?
Not really. I feel like we've all handled things pretty communally, like we all discussed it together.
Dave, would you agree with that assessment?
I would say that we are definitely one big family, and even though we have a father and a mother, I believe that we all have equal say, especially in tonight's vote, and I believe every vote going forward that we are going to be able to have some sort of control. And I don't know, I do feel like we're all a bunch of individuals playing at this point, and that we don't have a clear leader, but we do have some people that more so bring a little bit more direction to the tribe.
Now, Meredith, how do you go into this vote tonight? Obviously, you're safe, but like Dave said, you guys are a unit, but you're also kind of playing individual at this point.
I mean, obviously, I'm safe, so I don't want to say I've been playing riskier, but it's like the vote, I know it's not going to go towards me, so I don't really have to worry about that. But it's kind of just looking forward and moving forward. We have no option but to vote someone out, so at this point, what's going to be best for my game moving forward and our game as a tribe moving forward, because eventually we're going to merge. So at that point, hopefully the person that we vote out is the right person when we get to the merge, to have the numbers and to move forward as a tribe.
And I would say even more that we're looking toward a potential merge right now. If it's not this week, it's probably going to be next week or the week after that. What is the best option to keep our tribe as strong as possible and as unified as possible going into this merge, where we're going to have to take out the solo people, where we're going to have to come together, vote one of them out, and make sure that we have the numbers.
Now, Julia, would you say that you agree that you feel like your tribe is unified, or maybe you've had a different experience? What are your thoughts?
No, I feel like our tribe is unified. I feel like we really got, like, it's not just a tribe, we're a family. Not to be sappy, so it's hard. You don't want to vote your family out, but it's Survivor, so you got to do what you got to do.
Now, Leah, has there been any talks of hidden immunity idols messing with you guys' strategy for this week?
The only talk of hidden immunity idols have been about the other tribe.
Interesting. Jacob, have you heard any talk of inner tribe, between the two tribes, communicating at all?
Not much, really. I think at this point we're just kind of like waiting for the merge to like get to there and then to figure stuff out then. But at this point, I think we're just chilling, really.
I don't think there really is a need to talk to the other tribe, because I think it would put a target on your back saying, hey, I've been in communication with the other tribe before the merge. It's like, why are you doing that? You don't need to be. So, I mean, I know that they've reached out to a few of us in passing or like on social media, but other than that, I don't think any of us are going out of our way to communicate with them right now.
SOA has both of the hidden immunity idols, and I know that. I know it. My gut tells me they have both of those idols, which is why it's important for us to have those numbers going into the merge, because they can use those idols and vote for one of us and we're out. So it's an important decision tonight, to say the least.
Yeah, I think that's the other thing. We have numbers right now, so I think they're more worried than we are at this point going into the merge.
But they do, I believe, have both of those hidden immunity.
That is,
and that's their advantage. But our advantage is we have a very unified tribe, and we have more people than they do. So
Leah, Dave seems pretty confident in his idea that the other tribe has two hidden immunity idols. Do you agree with that assessment, or maybe is his confidence coming from somewhere else? Maybe he's trying to throw you guys off.
Well, no, I completely agree with that. I've been hearing rumors about things, and I 100% agree. There's definitely at least one, maybe two on the other tribe.
Well, let's go vote.
Sorry, Nori, it had to be done. Nothing personal, it's just Survivor.
She hasn't integrated into the tribe as much as the rest of us have, and we're still friends. I just feel like we haven't meshed as well.
Alright guys, if anyone has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play it, now would be the time to do so. Alright, this is the legacy advantage, which could be used at 12 or 8. This is real, so any votes cast for Jacob do not count. Alright, let's get to the votes. Julia. Nori. Nori. That's 2 votes Nori, 1 vote Julia.
love you too.
Alright, Nori, the tribe is spoken. Thanks for playing.
My pleasure. Kill it, guys.
Love you.
The tribe is horrible liars. I saw it through from the get-go. And number two, me and Luke were kind of tight, so I'm assuming that they just knew that we talked, which we did. We did talk as friends. So I knew there was a target on my back. I knew I was going to leave at some point or another. It's been fun. I got to meet people, made some friends, still going to hang out with them after this, so I can't complain. I'm out $10 though. That sucks.